All right, I want to share something pretty interesting with you. When I was 25, I became a Christian and I finally started reading the Bible, right? And I came from a pretty dark background in some ways. And so I became fascinated with the story of Manasseh. He was the king of Judah, and he was the son of Hezekiah, who was a really righteous king, right? But his son, Manasseh, he was a bad dude, right? And so what he decided to do was he worshipped all these other gods apart from Yahweh, the God of the Hebrews. And so he erected altars to the Baals of the Ashtaroth, the surrounding regions gods. And he worshipped the host of heaven, the stars and the angels or whatnot, and he served them, right? And so he starts building altars in the temple to these foreign divinities, right? And he even burns his sons in the valley of Hinnom. He even sacrifices his sons to demons. And so this is a bad guy, right? And it says that he did much evil in the sight of the Lord, provoking him to anger, right? This guy was bad. But what essentially happens, right, was the Lord spoke to Manasseh, to his people, but they paid no attention. And so therefore the Lord brought upon them the commander of the army of the king of Assyria, and captured Manasseh with hooks, bound him with chains of bronze, brought him to Babylon, right? And it says that when Manasseh was in distress, he entreated the favor of the Lord, his God, humbled himself greatly before the God of his fathers, right? So it's like he's coming back to his senses and he's seeking the God of his fathers, of Hezekiah, and he's saying, I'm done, right? This guy, these kings, they would often, capture other kings and they'd poke out their eyes with burning steel or whatnot, and they would kill their families in front of them. So this guy's in the hands of bad men. But he seeks the Lord. He prayed to him. God was moved by his entreaty, heard his plea, and brought him again to Jerusalem into his kingdom. Then Manasseh knew that the Lord was God. So God actually hears him. God actually listens to this man who's done so many evil things. And why did he hear him? Did he hear Manasseh because Manasseh was just such a nice guy? He helped old ladies across the road and, gave portions of bread to the soup kitchen on Sunday because he's a really religious man? No. God heard him because God is faithful in keeping his promises. And God promised his ancestors that he would be faithful to his promises. And so we see that with Christ. It's like God has made a covenant, a promise with all who would trust in Christ, and he will never leave them or forsake them. So, if you are running away from God, you turn away to God, well, things are not going to end well for you. Like with this bloke, you might end up in prison, right? Maybe even in the eternal prison of hell. That's not maybe, that's a definite if you don't trust in the Lord. But we can see that even the most wicked man found favor with God because he sought the Lord and because God is gracious and merciful. And so I just want to encourage you with that today. It was on my mind. It's an amazing story. Just grasp the kindness of God. This man he's a bad dude, right? But that is the God of the Bible. And that's why people hate grace. They hate this message because, this man deserved death, right? But the reality is, so do you. So do I. For we've rebelled against God. We've spat in God's face. But he's so gracious to cleanse us and restore us. So today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your heart, but seek him in his word. Go to one of the Gospels and read them. Call on him in prayer. Thank you. Have a good day.